What is good, guys? Welcome back to Hoops Hub, where we talk all things basketball. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how the mainstream media is kind of taking away from the game, the great game that is basketball and the NBA in general. Now, this is no personal attack on anyone. I just want to voice my opinion about why some of these mainstream media outlets are sensationalizing a lot of things that don't need to be sensationalized. And I'm going to give you guys examples about this right now. Now, this was mainly inspired by what Stephen A. Smith and others on First Take had to say about Russell Westbrook's incredible historic night very recently when they won against the Indiana Pacers, as well as the Brooklyn Nets and LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin going to the Brooklyn Nets. So by no means am I a Wizards fan or a Nets fan, and I just want to clear that up before you guys in the comments think I'm being biased here. I'm not. I'm a Miami Heat fan. So these are two interconference rivals that I don't want to see succeed because we are trying to fight for a playoff position. So this really kind of spurred when Stephen A. Smith was talking about LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin going to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, obviously, LaMarcus Aldridge got bought out by the Brooklyn Nets, and so did bought out by the San Antonio Spurs, and Blake Griffin got bought out by the Detroit Pistons, both signing with the Brooklyn Nets and aspirations to win a championship. This spurred a lot of debate as to whether the Brooklyn Nets were quote-unquote cheating, or were they were trying to disrupt the balance of power in the NBA. All this was going on, debates raging all over the mainstream media, ESPN. All these outlets were debating on whether it was the ethical thing to do. And Stephen A. Smith and some others were in particular saying that no, he has a problem with LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin going to the Brooklyn Nets because in essence they're ring chasing. Now, what I want to say about this is I'm gonna talk about what Dwayne Wade said on Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's podcast, All the Smoke. NBA players are judged on winning. More than anything, an NBA player is judged on what he has won throughout his career. That's what puts him in the top 10 or top 15, wherever, all time. Which is why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, because every finals appearance that he's been in, he's won the finals. He's 6 for 6. That's unheard of. Which is why Michael Jordan, in my eyes, and in majority of the people's eyes, is the greatest player of all time. And LeBron James is second because of the championships he's won, what he's won, what he's done in off the court, all the things he's won, like accolades. Winning makes a lot of people's rankings justified for a player. So in having said all of that, Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge are names. They are they're shells of their former selves, but they will go down as all-time greats, potential Hall of Famers. I don't know about first ballot. I'm not convinced that Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge are Hall of Famers yet. I think they're borderline, but they're on the cusp. You can't argue their talent. Once upon a time, they were absolute studs. They were superstars in the NBA. But right now, Blake Griffin has been atrocious this year. LaMarcus Aldridge has been atrocious this year. As compared to what the standards were set for them, what Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge have done, as far as how they played the season, has been subpar, very average. So them signing with the Brooklyn Nets, to me, doesn't really make the Brooklyn Nets 10 times better. It doesn't change the balance of the power of the NBA that much. The reason that people are going on about these two buyout signings is because Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge are big names. Now let me tell you this. The Brooklyn Nets just signed Alize Johnson. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but he's a guy from the G League that was putting up insane stats, to a 10-day contract. Now Alize Johnson is getting nowhere the amount of media publicity as Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm not saying he's on the same level as them, but anyone for that matter. You can take if an average role player, let's say a guy like Robert Williams signed with the Brooklyn Nets, got bought out by the Celtics and signed with the Brooklyn Nets. I honestly believe Robert Williams is a better player than LaMarcus Aldridge right now. That might be a bit crazy, but I do think he is. He would not nearly get the amount of media attention that Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge is getting because he's not a name like them two. So I don't think Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge moves the needle as much as what people are saying they do. They're good names to have, but I don't know. I don't think what Stephen A. Smith and everyone is saying about, the Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge thing ruining competition. First of all, these players are judged upon winning. So you guys are the ones who set the standards for these players. You were the one who said if you guys don't win, which is what Stephen A. Smith just said about Russell Westbrook, then you're going to be penalized for that. So when these guys put themselves in a position to win, they're also penalized. So a player can't win, right? If you stay on a sorry team, you get bashed for being a loser. But if you go to a team that has the greatest chance to win the championship, you get bashed for ring chasing. A player can't win, which is why Russell Westbrook, what Stephen A. Smith said about Russell Westbrook was also, I thought it was disrespectful. Russell Westbrook just had one of the greatest games in NBA history, and it doesn't matter because he hasn't won a championship. Now, Russell Westbrook is not a loser. He's not a loser by any means. Just how Chris Paul is not a loser either. Allen Iverson was never a loser. Just because they didn't win championships. You know how many great players in this league did not win championships? Charles Barkley, one of the greatest power forwards in NBA history, did not win a championship. He's still regarded as one of the greatest because everyone knows how good he was. Chris Paul should not be slandered because he hasn't won a championship. Neither should Russell Westbrook or Allen Iverson. The points that were brought up about Russell Westbrook not winning a championship was that he blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors. Guess who also blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors? Chris Paul. Is he getting slandered? No, as he shouldn't be. Chris Paul should not be getting slandered because he hasn't won a championship, because he's a winner. Russell Westbrook is getting slandered unnecessarily, even though we all know how good Russell Westbrook is. What this man did and what this man is continuing to do, if you hear about everyone talking about Russell Westbrook, his teammates, his coaches, everyone knows how great of a teammate that man is. You can look through all the quotes that everyone has said about Russell Westbrook, and they'll tell you how great of a teammate he is. Bradley Beal, who's played with John Wall for his whole career apart from this season, has said that Russell Westbrook is his best teammate ever. So Russell Westbrook is not a loser. He's just a guy who's misunderstood. So, and my problem with what these guys are saying is that they're bashing Russell Westbrook for not winning a championship, but when Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge go to the Brooklyn Nets to win a championship, they're getting bashed as well because they're ring chasing, quote unquote. The point of any team in the NBA is to win a championship. You do that by any means. It's not cheating or anything like that. The Warriors signed Kevin Durant. People saw that as unfair, but they had the cap space. If any other team wanted to sign Kevin Durant, they could have signed Kevin Durant. The Warriors signed Kevin Durant because he wanted to win a championship. He went to the Warriors and won his 2. When you go on Basketball Reference and you look up Kevin Durant, you're gonna see that he has 2 championships. None of those rings are fake. Obviously, he might not have earned those rings as or not worked hard for those rings as much as guys like Dirk Nowitzki did, but he won the championships. And you can't knock a player for winning championships where that's what he's held to, the standard. You have to win a championship if you want to be looked at as great by the media. It's just messed up for me. I cannot understand why. In my eyes, you shouldn't be bashed if you don't win a championship, and in my eyes, you shouldn't be bashed if you go to a team that can put you in a position to win a championship. That's what my point is, and I hope y'all understand that, because a lot of these mainstream media outlets, I don't know, man. They have a problem with everything a player does. A player can never win. They can never win. That's my biggest problem. They have a great game and they're bashed, and what Stephen A. Smith said had nothing to do with Russell Westbrook's game the other night. Russell Westbrook had a historic night, and he was asked, "What do you think about that night?" And he said it doesn't matter because he hasn't won a championship. Man, if someone has a historic night, they should be praised. It doesn't matter if you win a championship or not. Derrick Rose, you know how much love the media gave Derrick Rose for having that 50-point game? Stephen A. Smith never said he didn't win a championship. And I'm not saying Derrick Rose should be bashed. No player should be bashed. And I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, what I mean by this. And I really want to clear that up. I'm not attacking any and I'm not attacking any individual person. It's just the mainstream media in general. I've seen Undisputed, Get Up, all these outlets do this as well. It's not just First Take. A player can never win, and I think it's just sad that, you know, the players are the ones who keep the ratings going, keep the league going, and the media is just sensationalizing all this nonsense that shouldn't be sensationalized. But hopefully it changes, man. I really want to see players being praised for what they do, because Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, if they win championships, they're gonna get their championship ring. It's not gonna be scratched off. So all power to the players, in my opinion, and hopefully the media outlets, hopefully they, you know, they see, if anyone is watching this video, hopefully they see what I'm talking about, because I do think it's very sickening how the players are treated by the media, which is why the players don't like the media. Which is why Russell Westbrook, he hates the media, and I would too. If I was in this position, I hate the media too, the amount of stuff they'd be saying about me. But yeah, man, if y'all disagree, we can agree to disagree in the comment section below. I really want to get my thoughts off about this though, so hopefully y'all see where I'm coming from. And if y'all like more content like this, make sure y'all like and subscribe, and comment down below what y'all think about what I said. And like I said, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.